Welcome back to another top products video here for November. So today we'll start out with the low competition product, and we'll move towards the innovation product, and we'll finish things off with the high demand product. So for the first product niche that we have here, that is the niche of shower head cleaner. So this tool and mechanism, whether it's electronic or a manual device, this is used to clean the calcium or some type of buildup from water deposits on your shower head. There are some very common designs that I've seen throughout this first listing page. One is this needle design where you can use this to remove any of the calcium deposit left over from water. There's also an electronic version, a power scrubber here, as we can see. But what I really like about this first listing page, despite this one here, this Rubbermaid product, is that we're seeing very few reviews on this first listing page. These two listings here are relatively new with 2 reviews and 58, yet they're on the second row on the first listing. Continue downward, we see a very common theme with the electric scrubbers. So I plan to stay away from this just because it's costly. Electronics tend to have a higher defect rate, so maybe we can find something manual that incorporates the brush design while also including some type of more precision form pin design to clean out those areas. So let's go into the data, and I'm going to share with you one thing that I enjoy about the data and I think is very promising, and then one area of concern. So we'll go ahead, we will click view, and this product has great demand. As we can see, almost 5,000 monthly searches, and the average number of units sold per listing is just over 3,000. So if we click view, this is the first thing that looks very promising. And once this loads here, it may not look extremely attractive at first. However, the catch is if you really assess this data, you can see if you look at this line here for 1,500 units sold, that is pretty common throughout, I'd say, nearly 85% of the months that are shown over the past 2 years. So why is this promising? This is promising because this shows us that we have stable demand throughout the entire year, and we don't have to worry about these large fluctuations in demand. And it helps us to manage our inventory better, as well as to have a consistent revenue stream. Now, one thing that I'm concerned about is the search volume chart. We do see some more spikes, there's some more significant ups and downs in this search volume chart. However, the thing that is a little bit concerning to me is there's a slight downward trend if you look at this moving average line. So we're not necessarily growing in demand, but this also ties back into what we saw previously with the average units sold chart, that this is somewhat stable. We're right about 1.3 thousand weekly searches, which is to be expected. So nothing to be crazy concerned about, but something to keep an eye on. Hopefully this will continue to stabilize or possibly move in the opposite direction and upward in overall growth. All right, moving over to the supplier sourcing. I used Alibaba.com to source this listing right here in this supplier. Although the supplier is not verified, I did assess a lot of their information down below here. I'll show you the badge. And you can click view profile, and you can go into some more information about that supplier. They've been on Alibaba for more than 4 years. Ideally, you want to work with a verified supplier, but if not, make sure you assess their credentials and also their capabilities. So what I really like about this product is, one, the unit cost is less than $1. That's excellent. And second, this is a small product with some very unique features. So we can see on the gray one here, it has those precision silicone needles. So that allows us to really get into those grooves and those areas on the shower head to effectively clean it. In addition, what I really liked is that this has a bladder right here that we can push into pump liquid through the center nozzle. So we can shoot liquid out there to enhance that cleaning experience. You can put some type of detergent in here, or just simply put water, which allows it to be more abrasive. So here's what that product looks like. Very simple, yet effective. And as far as differentiation, I did not see this on the first 2 listing pages. Doesn't mean it's not sold on Amazon or for another purpose, but I think this would really allow us to stand out on that first listing page once we were to rank that high. Okay, so we're looking at about, I'd say for most people, about 65 cents per unit. And then I'm estimating around 15 to 30 cents for shipping per unit as well. All right, on to the Seller Buddy margin calculator. So what we have here is I inputted the information 4 by 4 by 5 inches for the dimensions. And we're going to sell this for just shy of the average unit price of $11.99. I think it's a fair price, and ultimately, I would like to get closer to that $15 range for this single unit. Cost of goods sold with 30 cents for shipping per unit is 95 cents. And then we'll scroll down here to take a look at our fees and our profit margin. So we have a very high profit margin as expected with a smaller product. That is 47%. And with 200 estimated sales, that puts our monthly profit just over 1,000 US dollars. Now, keep in mind, this does not include two things, which I'm in the process, I created this app, I'm in the process of adding. This does not include the new inbound placement fee, which will probably run you about 30 cents per unit. So if we go ahead and we add another 30 cents to $1.25, we're still sitting at a very healthy profit margin of 45%, a decrease of 2%. And then lastly, this doesn't include any advertising fees. So if we wanted to go ahead and put that in the miscellaneous cost, let's say we are estimating $1 for advertising per unit, that still keeps us above our minimum threshold of 35%, which is still a very healthy profit margin. Okay, the second product, and that is our innovative product. And this is a product which, I may be a little bit naive about, but I wasn't even aware that this was a thing, and that is the product niche of sewing gun. So when you think of sewing, you think of either hand sewing with your hands, or you're thinking of an actual sewing machine. I guess, however, whether this is a new design or not, or a new product, this is innovative to Amazon because there aren't too many of these on the first couple listing pages. And the ones that are on the first listing page, we're seeing very few reviews. The bestseller only has 97 reviews. Now, with that being said, this is a handheld sewing gun that allows DIYers and anyone doing upholstery, for example, to go ahead and to use this on the go in a mobile version to sew things. One thing that does concern me about this, other than the fact that it's electronic or battery operated, is that there's very limited differentiation aspects to this product. This has to fit in your hands, so the product design is only going to change in a minor way, and it looks like what most sellers are doing is just changing the color to be something more attractive and different than other sellers. So we'll keep that in mind and try to get a little bit creative on how we can compete with all these existing sellers and how we can really separate ourselves. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at the data. Again, what's promising and one thing that is concerning. So we're also seeing high demand for this product, over 4,000 monthly searches. Our trend lines are somewhat stable with a 3-month trend going somewhat downward. We'll go ahead and click this to show us our charts. And although there's a great growth for average unit sold history, what is really compelling to me and what's attractive is the top products. So if we look at the top products on that first listing page, in terms of monthly sales, we can see the revenue share is pretty good. If we're scrolling down this column right here, $85,000 for this listing, $67,000 for this listing. This is a newer listing, $2,000, $5,000, $1,000, $3,000. If we scroll down, we even have some sellers hitting $100,000, another $24,000 seller, which is great. There's every seller is making a couple $1,000, with the exception of just one or two. So what does this mean for you as a new seller? This gives you at least assurance or a good idea that when you begin to rank your product on the first 3 listing pages, and mainly the first listing page, you're going to share some of that market and some of that revenue with all the other sellers. The last thing you want to do is to join a product niche or a first listing page where there's 1 or 2 dominant sellers that are generating over 80 to 90% of the revenue, because that really sets you up to fail, because it's going to be very difficult to outcompete those to gain some of the market. Okay, and the concerning thing here is the average price history. What you'll see here is a declining price history over the past 2 years. There's a couple reasons that this could be happening, and it's very difficult to understand exactly why. The first concern, which I think is what happened, is that over the past 2 years, there's been a large influx in sellers to this niche. Although Jungle Scout still rates this as low competition, and I would as well, we've seen nearly a $70 price decrease for this product. Now, again, that could be due to competition, or another factor, it could just be that this product became cheaper and cheaper, as technology has progressed over the past 2 years. We tend to see that with innovative products because they're very costly, or they're new to the market, and manufacturers are having a difficult time manufacturing them, so they're more costly. And then over time, as they find efficiencies in their manufacturing process, they can reduce their unit rate. Therefore, the sales price you see commonly on Amazon tends to decrease as well. Now, what exactly is happening here, I'm not sure, but it's something that we need to keep in mind, that there's a good chance that this continues to decrease, and our average price of $21, let's just say, could come down to $15. It's something we'll monitor. All right, so I found this sewing gun on Alibaba, and there were a few things that really attracted me to this listing. The first one is that it comes with this carrying bag. So this is a luxury gift pack, according to the supplier, that allows you to stand out from your competition, because it gives the customer a nice clean space and organized space to put their sewing gun. It also comes with 2,000 individual micro fasteners and over 144 pieces of cute buttons. So it comes with some freebies, which is always excellent to see. I also really like the color scheme here, and then we'd obviously put our logo right around here or somewhere that's visible for our brand. Now the unit rate, this supplier does have a high MOQ of 500 units, and that would run us about $4.65 per unit. And in addition to that, shipping will be a little bit more expensive since this is a bulkier product. Still small in some sense, but it does have some weight to it as well. So I would expect about $1 per unit for shipping. All right, so we'll take time to really run through these numbers, but with $1 shipping per unit, we're running about $5.65 in total. If we scroll down here to our estimated sales and profit margin, we're sitting at a 35% margin with 200 sales, about $1,400 in monthly profit. Before we look at our final product here today, do not forget that I offer mentorship services on Patreon, and I also offer freelancing services for your Amazon listing and product research on Fiverr. If you need general coaching advice or custom strategies to grow your business, consider joining our Patreon group where I can help you one-on-one. On the other hand, if you need help researching a product idea, creating your listing, or your ad campaign, then check out my Fiverr gigs. Now make sure to reach out to me on Fiverr through direct messaging before you place your order so I can give you 5% off for watching this video. In that message, make sure to include the package, any extras that you want, and then this unique code so I can give you the 5% off. All right, let's get back to the top products for this month. All right, so we're on to our final product niche here, and by far my favorite out of this set of 3, and that is the shoe cleaning bag for the high demand product of the month. Now this is, some would argue that this could also be innovative. I've not seen this in retail shelves. I've not seen this even on Amazon recently, but over the past month, this has really started to trend upward in terms of demand and overall interest. So very simply put, this is a product in which you put your shoes in to protect them and also to protect your washer. And this will allow you to clean your shoes in your washing machine and ultimately your drying machine. That way you don't have to do them by hand. So we can see that of the non-sponsored listings, the first one here is 5 reviews, so a new product. And then we also see a very similar thing across for this very similar type of product. So that brings up a good point. Are we just going to sell this product in a set of 2 and then go ahead and just change the color? I don't think that would be the smartest thing to do. So we'll look for a different product to stand out amongst this competition. All right, so now you have a sense of what this product is. Let's head over to the data. Very attractive data with very high search volume and units sold. If we click the shoe cleaning bag here, click view, we'll take a look at the search volume first, which is the attractive thing about this product. So it wasn't until really, I would say, end of March of this year where this product began to really gain momentum and interest, and we've just peaked here at the end of September and early October. Although we did see a decline over the month of October, demand is still extremely high in comparison to what it was previously this year. So this upward trend line is a very attractive element of this product niche. Why this spike happened in March, it's difficult to tell. Sometimes that's because this tends to go viral on TikTok or YouTube Shorts and people gain awareness of this product. Or it could just be that, this is a product that started to hit the market more and more. As more listings were to populate on Amazon, customers began to see them. Now, one other thing, I know I usually only do one, but since this is one of my favorite products, I want to show you the inverse of what we talked about previously with the average price history. So for this product, back in November of 2022, our average unit rate was $16.80. Now we're sitting at just over about $25 in our unit price. So a significant increase over the past 2 years. If we flip the script from what we talked about previously, this may be happening because there isn't enough competition to drive the prices down. Simple economics 101. I think that's probably what's happening here. There's higher demand than the competition. So sellers are able to increase their prices since there isn't enough competition to have some type of price war to drive those prices down. Excellent to see here. Now, there wasn't anything in the data that really stood out to me of concern. However, the only thing that, if I had to pick something, it would be the lack of differentiation that we see in the first listing page. Unfortunately, this is one of those products that there's only so much you can do to differentiate yourself besides color or size differences to stand out. And unfortunately, that is the case for some of these type of products. So it's something to keep in mind, and we'll do our best to try to differentiate ourselves to stand out and also to provide a better product for the customer. Okay, so here's what I came up with and here's what I found. And what I love about this supplier listing, besides the great reviews that it already has, is that one, this is a different color of product, and it's also a more tighter fitting product. So you can put one individual shoe in, and then obviously comes with a second one where we can put that shoe in as well. Another thing that I really like about this product is that it comes with these shoe inserts, which is already included in the unit rate that we're seeing on the right-hand side here. So you put these in your shoe just to keep its form so it doesn't deform when it's running through the washer cycle or it's rinsing. So we are looking at about a $4.10 unit rate, which is somewhat high for this niche, but again, with the freebies that it comes with and also the different design, I think we have a compelling point to raise our sales price a little bit, be just a couple dollars above the average sales price for this product. So the average sales price, what I recognized was about $16 to $17, even though Jungle Scout's average price was a little bit higher. I think at $19.99, we can really have a compelling argument that with these two inserts and these two bags that it comes with, this is a very attractive product to customers. So the $4.30 unit rate, that brings our total to a 44% margin, and at 200 sales, about $1,700 in monthly profit. All right, so thank you for checking out this month's best products to sell on Amazon. If you want to be the first to know next month what the top products are and how to effectively use this product research strategy, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like button. I would greatly appreciate that.